Hi everyone, welcome back. The sun is shining, so I decided to take my practice outside today. I hope you guys can hear me. I may sound like I'm projecting my voice too much, but I'm just trying to make sure you can hear me because I know there's some outside elements that will get in our way a little bit. So let's all find a comfortable seat. You can sit on your heels, you can sit on a pillow or a block, or you can cross your legs, whatever you find comfortable. Spine is nice and tall. Take a few deep inhales and exhales in and out of your nose. Sweeping arms all the way up. And then bringing your hands back down to your lap. You can bring your left hand down to the mat. Just your fingertips can touch. Inhale, sweep your right arm all the way up and over. Exhale as you bring your right hand down. Inhale, sweep your left arm all the way up. Exhale, left hand touches down. Inhale, right arm is reaching. And exhale, right hand comes down. Inhale, left arm is reaching. Bring your hands behind your back, lift your chest, and then come forward for a forward fold. Walk your hands back in, rolling yourself up, and let's all start today making our way onto our back. If you'd like to take yourself somewhere else in the world, maybe you're bringing yourself into a lake cabin. I can give you some sensory details here. There's trees everywhere. Some of them are bare. Some of them are starting to get green again. The air is warmed by the sun, but it's also cool coming off of the lake. There's little sounds. Birds are starting to chirp. As you inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, release your hips down to the mat. Inhale, lifting hips. Exhale, release your hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Once more, inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Knees come into chest. You're wrapping your arms around the front of your shins. Make a few circles. Give yourself a hug. Allow yourself to be taken over by gratitude. Gratitude for your physical body that allows you to move through yoga, for the sun today that's shining, making us feel a little better. Now we're going to rock and roll all the way up into a seat. If you feel pretty good and your core is ready to work, you can try and roll yourself right up into Navasana, catching yourself. Breathing, straightening legs if you're feeling it. However you feel is good. And then you can bring your feet to the side. Make your way onto all fours. Maybe you have to move back on your mat a little bit. Circling hips. Wiggling body, just moving in a way that feels comfortable. Eventually taking a few cat and cows just to work your spine. Now, if you're someone like me who has a tendency to always bow your back, I have a very long torso, so I'm always letting my back bow. Think about tucking your toes and pushing off your feet, lifting your chest rather than dropping belly, right? And creating that arch. Maybe you're not quite ready for that yet. And then you can eventually make your way up into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, Lift your hips. Inhale, roll yourself out to plank. And then exhale, shift back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll yourself out, plank pose. Exhale, shift back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Walk your feet to your hands, one step at a time. Maybe your hands lift at some point. When you get to the top of your mat, soft bend in your knees. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, forward folds coming all the way down. Walk or jump yourself back, plank pose. Exhale, lower knees, chin and chest, or lower halfway into chaturanga. Inhale, roll over toes. Lift your chest, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll back over your toes and come into downward facing dog. Bend knees, walk or jump feet to hands. When you arrive, half lift, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping arms all the way up. Exhale, forward folds coming all the way down. Walk or jump yourself back and move through your vinyasa. I just want to slide my mat back a little bit. Want to make sure I'm staying in the camera lens. When you find yourself back in downward facing dog, you can lift your right leg into the air and step your right foot all the way through. Back heel comes down, rise up, warrior one. Pull your right hip back, reaching your arms up towards the ceiling, pressing into the outside of your left pinky toe. Then press into your right foot and almost lift out of your knee. So think about your muscles hugging your bones, right? Wrapping tightly around your bones. And you're just holding in warrior one. Bring your hands down to the top of your mat, spin onto your left toes, step your right foot back. Now feel free to skip a flow at any point in time. You can just press back into downward facing dog or sit back on knees and take child's pose. Okay, so if at any point in time you need to slow it down a little bit, allow yourself the opportunity to. If you're flowing, take your flow. And lifting left leg into the air. Step your left foot all the way through, rise up. Warrior one. Some of these warrior poses, you have to be conscious of tightening of your core, especially if you bow your back, right? Because you don't want to hurt your low back. So tighten core. Press into your feet, reach through your arms. Bring your hands down to the top of your mat. Step back, vinyasa. Again, lifting right leg, right foot steps all the way through. You're rising up, warrior one. Now make sure that right foot is pretty far forward here, okay? Pull your elbows down. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Roll your shoulders back. You can straighten right leg, give yourself a little break. Puff up your chest here. Then all at once, bend your right knee and let your head come down. Humbled warrior. Your upper body is totally surrendering. The crown of your head is making its way onto the mat, or it's just in that direction. Bring your hands down to the top of the mat, spin onto left toes, step back, and flow. Warrior one into humbled warrior on the left side. Lifting left leg, rising up. Situating in warrior one. Pulling elbows down, maybe straightening left knee. Interlace Placing fingers behind your back, roll shoulders back, puff up chest, bend left knee, and surrender. When you get down, just breathe. Focusing on your inhales and your exhales, pressing into your feet, stabilizing through lower body, releasing hands down to the top of your mat, step your left foot back, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Taking 3 breaths in downward facing dog. I'll have to tell Aloe about this new tub. She told me it was yoga friendly, but it's more like yoga teacher everyday wear rather than on your mat wear because the hood is non-stop in my face. Okay, on your next inhale, right leg is lifting. Step right foot all the way through. We're coming back into warrior 1. Pull right hip back, reach through right arms. Now this time we're opening up warrior 2. Back foot slides back a little bit, reaching from fingertip to fingertip. Bending right knee, pull that right knee over towards the pinky toe side of right foot. Right arm comes onto right thigh. Left arm reaches towards the front of the room. You're gazing underneath of left arm. Then come all the way back, reverse. If you can take this practice outside, definitely do so. It feels so good to have the sun just coming down on my face. Left hand touches down on the inside of your right toes. You've lifted your left heel. So now you're pressing into left toe mound. Right arm is reaching towards the sky. Take your gaze up. Change your perspective. What's going on? Up. If you're inside, maybe not a whole lot, but if you're outside, I'm looking at a tree, and the tree has these little buds on the ends, like it's about to bloom, or leaves are about to come onto the tree. Spin onto the outside of your left foot, take side plank. Maybe you're bringing that right foot down, or maybe you're bringing left knee down. However you'd like to take side plank is good. Bring right hand down to the mat, and we're flowing. Lifting left leg into the air, step your left foot all the way through, rise up, warrior 1. Open up, warrior 2. Extended side angle. Left arm on left thigh, right arm reaches forward. And then keep your legs exactly as they are as you reverse your warrior. Begin to cartwheel, hands towards the mat, spin onto right toes, peel your left arms open. I'll talk a little louder because my neighbor's obviously doing some yard work here. Coming into side plank, you can either drop your knee here, or you can rotate onto the outside of your left foot, slide that outside of right foot. Slide left foot back, or maybe step it back. Maybe it's lifting into the air. Let's take one more breath. And make your way down. Plank pose into chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your knees down to the mat. Sit back on your heels. Take child's pose. Take a rest. Walk your hands in. Come up onto your heels. So today as we're moving, I want you to set your intention around coming up with natural medicines, right, to make you feel better during these times. So certainly yoga is one of them. Maybe the sunshine is another one. Love, right? Love is great medicine for when you're feeling gloomy. So if you can share some love with someone or be loved by someone, do that. Also, just giving your body nutrients, right? Maybe you're taking some time right now to like juice or be creative in the kitchen. I know tonight I'm going to try and make Yoga Girl's breaded tofu that she has on her website. So I found all the ingredients, so I'm going to work on that tonight. Gets me excited. Okay, coming up onto your knees. Bring your hands to your low back, wrap your shoulders back, and lift your chest. You can stay right here, or if you want to take a back bend, you can push hips forward. You're lifting your head and maybe looking up, looking back. If you can see behind you, you can bring your hands onto your heels, maybe untuck your toes. You decide how deep you'll go with your back bend. Then make your way all the way up, coming right into rabbit pose, rounding your spine. You're bringing the crown of your head down, not your forehead. So try and tuck your chin as best as you can. Grab the outsides of your feet. And release. Threading the needle here. Come into tabletop. Reach your right arm all the way into the air. And then weave your right arm underneath of your left arm. Your right cheek can come down to either a pillow or maybe a blanket. Reaching left arm forward. Maybe you want to take left arm up and down your back, finding your inner hip crease. If you're really feeling balanced and you'd like to extend your left leg straight back, maybe lift your left foot. Try not to topple. Happens all the time. You can press into the back of your right hand for balance here. And release, unweave. Maybe you want to reach that arm back up or kind of roll your shoulders. Left arm is reaching up into the air. Weave your left arm underneath of right arm. Right arm can reach up into the air. Then fold right arm down your back if you want. If you don't want this deep of a twist, just keep it where we just were. If you want to extend your right leg back, you can extend right leg back, pressing into the back of your left hand. I almost toppled, just like I was telling you guys not to. Bring right knee back down, unweave, and anything you want to wiggle or move, do it. And then come right back up into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg into the air, step your right foot through. And again, you can be using those, whatever props you have at your house. So Clorox wipes or anything else that you can rest your hands on just to give yourself some arm extenders. A bag of flour is a really good size and shape. It's a little messy, but you decide. Spin your left heel down and come into warrior two. Then straightening out right leg. Reach your right arm forward, spin your palms so you have thumbs up. Bring that right hand to the inside of your right shin. Left arm's reaching into the air. You're tucking this hip underneath of your left hip. So tuck right hip underneath of left hip. Then reach upward, reach downward, triangle pose. And maybe engage your core. Reach your right arm forward. Left arm reaches forward. Crazy core work. You're looking underneath of left arm. One more breath. And come all the way up. Palms come together. Spin your right foot in. Warrior two, towards the back of your mat. You can stay here for maybe 3 to 5 breaths, or you could take half moon, bringing your left hand down to either a block or maybe the mat. Right arm reaches up. This hood is really starting to get in my way. And maybe you put a soft bend into your left knee and you're working on bringing left hand into heart center, hovering a little bit. So whatever you'd like to play around with. We're coming back into warrior two, bending left knee, right foot touches down, open back up, warrior two. Then cartwheel your hands towards your left foot. So you are facing the back of your mat now. Step your left foot back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg into the air. Step your right foot all the way through. Spin left heel down, warrior two. Straightening out right leg. Reaching and coming into triangle pose, this time tucking your right hip underneath of your left hip. And then right arm reaches forward. Left arm, maybe you're doing this. Maybe you're staying in traditional triangle pose. And then you're coming up. Palms together. Spin your right foot in. Warrior two towards the front of your mat. Nature's medicine is so good. I can hear this little waterfall from the lake, which lets water go into this little stream next to our house. Straighten out your left leg. Actually bend your left knee. Half moon. Left hand presses down, right arm is reaching up. Find a focal point and then stay there. Keep your gaze there. Balancing, breathing, and opening back up, warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down. Step back, vinyasa. It's the lake's dam, so it's always got a little waterfall trickling. Lifting right leg, step your right foot all the way through, rise up into warrior two. Right arm down to right thigh, left arm's reaching forward. Now use this right forearm to push into your right thigh to twist your heart and chest. Maybe you're looking under left arm and you can bring right hand down to the mat. Right elbow is keeping that right knee from spilling in. Then come all the way up with strong legs, reverse your warrior. Cartwheel hands down. You can either just step back into down dog. Maybe you want to take a three-legged chaturanga. That's what I'm going to go for. Dropping foot before you lift your chest and up dog. And downward facing dog. Lifting left leg, step your left foot all the way through. Rise up, warrior two. Extended side angle. And rise all the way up, reverse your warrior. Hands come down. I'll see you in downward facing dog. Oh. Okay, we're gonna come back into Warrior Two one last time here. Step that right foot forward. Rise up into Warrior Two. Now we're gonna go for a bind. So if you have a towel or a shirt or something near you, you might wanna grab it to drape behind your back. Right arm is going to rest on right thigh, left arm's reaching forward. Then maybe you wanna take left arm down your back, and maybe left hand is holding your shirt or your towel. Then if you'd like to bind, this is a half bind. You can see your hands maybe on your inner left thigh, right thigh. This is great. If you want, you can slide that right arm underneath of right leg, grabbing a hold of left hand or towel. You could stay here for 3 to 5 breaths, or you can jump your left foot in, come onto your right tippy toes, and slowly begin to rise up, coming into Birds of Paradise. Now once you get up, roll your shoulders back, and then maybe you straighten your right leg. Breathing, balancing. Bend your right knee, right foot touches down. Come back into your bind. Release your hands onto the mat. Spin onto your left toes. Peel your right arm open, twisting. Second time, coming into side plank. Any variation you'd like is good. And then if you'd like, you can flip your dog. Right foot comes behind your left foot. Reach that right arm forward. Come back around, vinyasa. Left leg steps forward, coming into Warrior Two. So many little things. I have a little spider or something on my mat now. All the bugs are coming out. Ah, it feels like springtime today. Extended side angle. Go for a half bind, wrapping right arm down your back, rolling shoulder back. If you want, you can go for that full bind. And if you want, you can go for Birds of Paradise. Make sure you fix your gaze on one non-moving object. Get yourself up, and then you can start to straighten out your foot or your leg. Coming back down. Release. Both hands come to the top of the mat. Spin onto your right foot. Left arm reaches into the air. Side plank. And then flip your dog. Come around, flow. Child's pose. You can come up onto your hands and just move a little bit. Maybe child's pose into a knee down plank and into an up dog. Forearms come down, elbows go narrow, or I'm sorry, hands go narrow, elbows go wide. Walk your feet in, dolphin pose. Up and down onto your tippy toes. Press into your forearms. Left leg lifts into the air, come up and down with right foot. Left foot touches down, right leg lifts. Keep pressing into forearms. And right foot touches down. Knees come down. Rest. Coming up onto all fours, you can flip your palms a little. Maybe sit back, move. Circular motion. Maybe do little wrist exercises. And then come back up, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts in the air, step your right foot through, tent your fingers, this time rise up, high lunge, so back heel stays lifted. Arms are reaching up, pressing into your right foot, pressing into your left toe mound. Coming into warrior 3, lifting left foot, arms can keep reaching forward if possible. And then you can wrap left leg around right leg, wrap right arm underneath of left arm, connecting inner palms, lift your elbows, bend your knees. Maybe you want to lean forward. The eagle has landed. Rise up, unweave. Unweave your left leg. Shoot that left leg back. Warrior 3. Left foot touches down. High lunge. Hands come down to the top of the mat. Step your right foot back. And again, either flow or just maybe take down dog. I think I'm just going to hang in down dog this time. Left leg's lifting, stepping left foot all the way through, rise up. High lunge is where we are, then we're pushing off of right foot. Warrior 3 is where we're going. And then wrap right leg around left leg. Left arm underneath of right arm. Now again, you can always have that toe down, so you don't have to be balancing on one foot. Lift your elbows, so you're rounding spine. Bend your knees, and if you feel good about it, you can hinge forward and pour out your spout. Rise up. Release your grip, send that right leg back. Warrior 3. Into high lunge, into downward facing dog. Pedaling, bending one knee then the other. Now roll yourself out into plank pose. Shift yourself back, downward facing dog. Roll yourself out, plank pose. Bring yourself down onto your forearms, pressing forearms down into the mat. Core is nice and tight. So you're pressing forearms down, but you're tightening your core, you're lifting. Shoulders and forearms are working. Come back up, downward facing dog. Right foot steps all the way through. Walk your hands to the left. You're spinning your right foot so it's parallel to left. Bring your heels in, point your toes out, then drop your bottom and sit upright, okay? So try and avoid leaning forward like this. Try and have yourself sitting upright, tucking your tailbone. Then bending your knees, try not to let your knees cave in. And then you can open up your arms. Goddess pose. Bring your hands down to your mat, parallel your feet. Grab a hold of your big toes with a yogi toe lock. First two fingers connecting with thumbs and pull yourself in. If you have tripod headstand, you can bring the crown of your head down. Palms come down in between feet and you can lift off. Maybe you want to take eagle legs today. Bending into right knee, left toe kicks back, right arm stays in front of that right knee. Lift your left hand. Walk your hands over to your left knee. Bend into your left knee, kick your right toes back. Twist. Walk your hands all the way towards right foot. Step your right foot back. Downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward. Checking in with yourself, right? How are you feeling versus when you came to the mat? Do you feel good, energized? Maybe a little lighter. Okay, so bring that left knee down to the mat. Sweep your arms up. Anjaneyasana. Then bring your hands down on the inside of your right foot. Heel toe right foot out to the right side of your mat. Slide that left knee back. You can come into lizard pose. Any variation of lizard pose is good with me, so you can keep back knee lifted or maybe back knee is down. Right foot can be pressed down, or you can let it peel open a little bit. Forearms can be down, or you can be up on your hands. And if you're looking for an inversion, you can take an inversion as well. Maybe today you wrap that right elbow underneath of your right knee and lift your back foot. Now you can continue heel toeing that right foot over to the left side. Drop your right knee down, slide your left knee back. Half pigeon. Then come on up onto your hands, take a seat on that right hip. Swing your left leg around, and you're either taking ankle to knee, right here, which is a nice hip opener, or you're taking Gomukhasana, stacked knees pose. You can kind of come forward, get your knees stacked, and then sit down right in between your feet. Make sure both hips are down. Arms are reaching up. Right arm folds down your back, left arm reaches behind, grabbing maybe your right fingers or maybe just your t-shirt, and then you're lifting your chest here. Release. Bring your hands forward. You can roll onto your knees and then step yourself back. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg into the air. Bring your left foot forward. Tent your fingers on your hands. Gaze forward. Right knee is dropping down. Untuck right toes. Sweep your arms up. Bring your hands down on the inside of your left foot. Lizard pose, left side. Half pigeon pose, left side.